Well, I guess it was about 25th of February of 2024. That was the day I took my last drink of alcohol. It was almost 20 months ago. And so if you're looking for a video that's going to tell you the magic secret to quitting drinking, it ain't this one. I'm just going to tell you how it was for me and how I did it. Now, at the end of this video, I'm going to put up one of these corners. I don't know, because I'm turned around, you're turned around. I don't know which one it'll end up, but it will say impending doom. I want you to watch that. That is the day I woke up with the worst feeling I've ever felt in my life. And it lasted several, I'd say at least 3 days, maybe 4. And I hadn't drank anything for, I think this was March 4th. It had been 5, 6 days since I had my last drink, but something just told me, man, you gotta make some changes, some serious changes now, or it's over. I don't know what it was, but it was an awful feeling. It was just terrible. Make sure you watch that, because you're not only going to see how I acted, you're also going to see what I looked like. I didn't look too good. I was very overweight. I didn't think clear. I wasn't thinking clear. It was like I was in a fog, and I was in a fog for many years. Now, I started drinking when I was probably 14 years old, I think that was. And, you know, right around the age of 16, 17, we started, me and my friends, we drank more and more. By the time I went in the military, I was already a pretty good established drinker. But I never, in all the years, and I continued to drink all the way till I was age 58. 58, yeah, because I'm 59 now. So not even, no, I was 57 actually. I would have been turning 58 soon after. Doesn't matter. A long time. Too long to drink. Well, I never felt that I was addicted to it. I mean, I wasn't the guy that would wake up and had the shakes, sitting there doing this if I didn't get a drink. I never drank to that excess. I was mostly a weekend drinker, Friday, Saturday, most of the time Sunday if there was anything left, and, Monday, get up, go to work. Well, when I started working nights at the newspapers, a lot of these shops, these union shops I worked in, we go to the bar for lunch. So my alcohol intake really increased in those years. And it's still, I never felt, I would go through little phases. I'd be on a roll for a few months, drinking all the time, and then I would mellow out and get my life straight. I never let it take complete control of my life and ruin my life, but I knew it wasn't healthy for me. I knew I could feel better if I didn't drink. And it never dawned on me to just, I think you just have to know when it's time. Nobody is going to make you quit drinking by sending you somewhere. I got in so much, every bit of trouble I have ever been in with the law had to do with drinking. I was drinking at the time, whether it be DUIs, public intoxes. I don't know how many times I was tossed in the can for public intox and bar fights and everything else. Any kind of trouble could always relate back to alcohol. Now, I never got into drugs, not even marijuana. I never got into anything like that. Uh, I only tried marijuana like 2 or 3 times. It did nothing for me. I didn't like how it made me feel. Just those things weren't for me. But it was alcohol, and then later food. Although I didn't realize food was an addiction, it was, just the way the foods are today, eating the wrong things. But that combined with the alcohol didn't make for a healthy person. Now, when you watch that video, that where I'll put the link at the end of it, you'll see how unhealthy I looked. I looked terrible. in any videos in that time period. You know, fortunately on both of my channels, my main channel, Ouachita Mountain Living, or this channel, they've been around for 4 or 5 years. You can go back and you can see what I looked like, how I talked. I didn't speak, you know, I would just be in the middle of doing one of these and then I'd have to stop because I didn't know what else to say next. Now I can just rattle it off, rattle it off. I know what I need to say. My brain processes things a lot faster. So hopefully we don't get interrupted by the FedEx truck here. It's coming. So for me, I just quit. I just quit. And you know, and I will say that, yes, I said a prayer to God. I said, hey, you know, I can do this. Just give me the willpower to do it. And I guess he heard me because I've had good willpower. I haven't had any cravings. I just don't have a desire for that lifestyle anymore. I mean, living where I do, it was 100 miles round trip, 120 miles round trip to go to the liquor store to get the beer and come back. And then you had to do that every single weekend. You know, I didn't have enough money where I could buy a whole bunch of it at once. Now, in 2020, when that sea thing happened, I didn't go out as much. And so I started buying whiskey. You know, I had drank beer for many, many years, and then I switched to whiskey because, well, I thought beer was making me fat. Doesn't matter. And it was. But man, I was to the point where a 30 pack, no problem in one day. I would go to the liquor store on Friday and I'd pick up 30 packs, one for each day. And I would, by Monday morning, now there might be a few left over Monday, and I would make sure I finished them Monday. But that's how I drank. And then Monday I'd quit drinking. Friday I'd go back to the liquor store. Well, I started buying cases of whiskey, not just regular bottles of whiskey, half-gallon bottles of whiskey. And then I started mixing that with 7-Up. Later I'd mix it with like sparkling water. Didn't have any carbs in it and that. I just liked the taste of it better. I didn't care about the carbs. I hadn't even dreamed of going carnivore or any of that yet. But once I quit drinking, then I could think clear. I'm like, oh, what are you doing with your body now? You got to lose some weight, and I've dropped over 100 pounds, and life couldn't be better. I can drive right by the liquor stores, don't even give it a second look. I don't even think about alcohol anymore. I mean, it helps that there's nothing to do out here as far as bars and nightclubs and things. I'm too old for that anyway. I quit those many years ago, but there's no temptations. And I think you'll tell yourself when it's time, when you've had enough, because I've been sent to those AA meetings and all those schools and everything for the DUIs and the schools, and I never wanted to quit. I'd get out of those things and go drink. You know, AA might be for, you know, it's a good thing, I guess, but you got to want it. And I've always been the kind of person, if I'm going to quit doing something or I'm going to make my life better, I'm going to do it on my own. And that's how I've done everything. I made the choice to quit alcohol. I made the choice to quit food, the bad foods I was eating, and just changed my entire life. And anybody can do it. We all have the same brains. It's willpower. You've got to have strong willpower. And if you are around those kind of people that are doing these things, that makes it all the harder. You need to separate yourself until a time where you can deal with it, the temptations, but just get away from them because it will kill you. It will kill you. I have no doubts that impending doom feeling I had was a last warning. That was a last warning to me that if you don't stop now, you're not going to be here another year. And I was in so much pain all the time. My joints hurt. Everything hurt. I thought my kidneys were about to bust. Just internal pains everywhere. And the test results weren't good. You know, when I got my blood work done, none of that stuff was good. And I'm on this prescription medications, no pain pills. I never got into any of that stuff, pain pills. Never liked taking them. But, you know, the metformins, the blood pressure medicines, and I'm drinking. I'm drinking high doses of alcohol while I'm on this stuff. So that couldn't be good. My kidneys and my liver probably took one hell of a beating from 2020 on until I quit in 2024. So willpower is probably the biggest thing. I mean, you have to muster that up no matter what you do. Go to church, whatever. I'm not a church going person, but I believe in God. So I had no problem asking God to help me with the willpower, and it has been incredibly easy. I've tried to quit before, but I never really wanted to. I would always cave in and say, I'll just go get a 12 pack. Well, that would always lead to, oh, well, hey, we ain't going to quit now. And I had places all over this property with chairs, and I'd go out and I'd crack my beer and I'd have a bonfire. And, you know, I kind of missed that part of it, but not enough to drink again. So if this video helps one person, and 2 years from now you send me a message and say, hey, I watched your video and quit, then it's done some good. If not, uh, you have to, especially when you get older, you have to control what goes in your body. You know, like I said in a previous video, I buy a new car, I'm not going to go put the cheapest gas I can find in it because it won't last as long. I'm going to put the best gas I can find. Well, your body's like that. If you're putting all this garbage down your body, and believe me, I can't believe humans with the things we're eating live as long as some of us do. It's just insane what's in food today, and I think they try to hide it with these big names, make it sound, you see the label on the front, oh, it's essential part of your healthy diet. Then you flip it around and you see all the garbage that's in it. And I don't mean to, I don't know. I get on some of these videos, guys, and I'm harping on people that are overweight, and I shouldn't. But I know that how much better you would feel if you lost it. I know how much better you would feel if you quit drinking. So call it tough love, call it what you want. You know, uh, that's just how I am. If I succeed at something and I find out that, hey man, why have I been missing this all my life? I want you to know. And maybe the way I put it out there and I get it across to you is not the best way, but that's just the way I know how to do it. I'm a sarcastic SOB. Ain't I chickens? How long you guys going to take to eat that scratch? It's been out there about 9 hours. Tell you what, these chickens, I'm gonna have to cut them off. Well, that's what I got, guys. Go back and watch that video. I'll have it up. It'll be up here somewhere. I'll be the fat guy with the glasses on in the corner. You won't recognize me. But if you're new to my channel, if you've been with my channel a while, then you guys know what I've been through. You know, I don't ever want nobody to feel sorry for me. I'm the one that popped the beer cans and drank the whiskey and ate the food. Man, I got videos on my other channel of me cooking these atrocious meals and trying to get you to cook them. These frozen pizzas, and I've got 50 pounds of crap on there. Well, it was good. And then my cheeks are like, it's good. No, I should delete those, but I leave them up. I leave them up on purpose because I want a reminder of that day, of those days. Thanks for watching. Happy trails.